All right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with
my proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics, in collaboration with Fourth Wall Production, proudly brings to you the 55th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I'm your host, Kyron Silver from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the purple scribe and feature artist of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick. And together we are your two award-winning Blurred comic creators, here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, and I don't think anything else. So if you are listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast, because all your positive reviews and interaction help us reach a bigger audience. We're not on anything else, right?
I don't like y'all, bro. You, Morgan, and Javon, y'all constantly are harassing me because I'm not up to date on all the chats and all the news and information. So
Okay.
I made a mistake of sharing our feed to different places. And no, technically we're not live anywhere else. I might be on TikTok, but the show is only broadcasting to the Agents of Geekdom Network, which y'all should absolutely subscribe to.
Exactly. Please subscribe, especially on Twitch. If you want to, you can use your Prime account. It's free to use. It costs you nothing. So help support us and the, I don't know, 20 other people that are a part of Agents of Geekdom.
Legit,
So
yeah.
please go on and, like us on YouTube, subscribe there. But yeah, Fish is in the building. He says, good morning. How you doing? Fish apparently watches every one of our episodes and never missed an episode.
Come on now, Fish is just a consistent legend, bro.
I think that's because Fish doesn't sleep, which is why he's able to produce so much work so fast.
Yeah. Fish might be a robot, and I'm cool with that for now until he starts trying to take over the world.
Whoa. But wow. You know what? But Fish, if he's a robot, he needs somebody to repair him, because he's always got some issues going on. So
yeah, but a little oil,
little Tin Man.
It'll be good to go. It'll be good to go.
All right, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, brother. How you been?
I'm all right. For anybody that's wondering, we did miss last week's episode with Lonzo Starr. Danny had a what was an emergency? Oh, I wasn't going to say it, but he had a funeral he had to go to. Condolences to the family for the loss, of course. I was going to try to do it with Lonzo, but something came up at the last moment. I was going to do an event, and then that petered out at like the last minute. So we apologize. Fish says, I'm one broke down robot, need an upgrade. Yes, you are, Fish. Yes, you are.
Get that upgrade. Don't worry about you.
Go talk to what's his name, Elon Musk. Maybe he can upgrade you somehow. I don't know, dude.
I don't know, but that's a different type of thing. What comics have you been reading lately, Kyron? We supposed to talk about. We're supposed to do this every week. We're supposed to ask each other what comic books we've been reading, and we've not been doing that. So I'm going to ask you, what comic books have you been reading?
I read a bunch of comics actually this week because I went to the comic store. I've been catching up on the Gunslinger series from Todd McFarlane, which that is a fantastic series. If you haven't read that is, especially if you like Spawn. What?
I tried to, when King Spawn and Gunslinger Spawn both came out, I thought that they were going to be like reboots, resets, and like I read the first issue of each, and I was like, I don't understand anything that's going on. So I never got to issue 2 of either one of them, but I am hearing, like you said, that Gunslinger Spawn is a good series, so I might need to pick that one back up.
It is definitely good. I give it a try. And I haven't read Spawn since like issue 200. That was like 100 issues ago.
Yeah, good.
So I had no idea what was going on either, but I love Brett Booth and his artwork, and I was like, the storyline is dope. It's a cowboy that gets lost in time, basically, and he appears in our world with Spawn powers. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had the same issue. Facebook user says I had the same issue with the new Spawn books. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Javon, it says good morning. Good morning, Javon.
John is another consistent watcher on Saturday mornings. We appreciate y'all.
All right. What have you been reading though?
Yeah. I haven't read anything this week. I haven't been reading anything this week. Oh no. I'm lying. I did read the new Star Trek, book that's out. That's following 9. Have we talked about Star Trek before on this show?
No, I didn't know you were into Star Trek until I saw your TikTok about it. So
yeah. I love Star Trek, and DS9 is one of my favorites. And this new Star Trek comic book, I actually got around to actually reading it this week, and it's so good. Like, it starts off so good. It's intriguing. You get some familiar faces in there, and I don't read a lot of mainstream comics, period. But when I saw that they are doing, a follow up to DS9, I was like, absolutely, come on now, Commander Cisco, we're gonna make it happen.
So, do we need to talk about the lack of black fans of Star Trek? I mean, you'd rarely hear any black people say, "Hey, I love Star Trek," and I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
I don't hear a lot of black people talking about it, but a lot of black people that I know like Star Trek. Like, I think it's just not something that we discuss a lot until Discovery came about. I saw a lot of black people talking. Yeah, me and Javon talk about Star Trek, and Discovery. Even Morgan has gotten in on Discovery. And Morgan doesn't do a lot of sci-fi stuff, but he really likes Discovery. I think there are more like Star Trek fans out there than we know.
But there's always a huge crowd of Star Wars fan, Marvel fan, DC fans. You hear them. Rarely ever do you hear about Star Trek fans, and that's sad because I love Star Trek all the way back to the original series. I mean, it was campy and stupid, but it was fun. So.
Yeah. Maybe we'll change that. We'll start a Black Star Trek fan club.
This is gonna be like your 4th podcast. Is that what you're saying?
And I know even Wally loves Star Trek because he started doing a black Star Trek comic book like serial. With Black Kirk, with a
Black Kirk.
And he had a chain with the.
Wait, was this fan fiction or was this a canon series or something?
It was fan fiction, but it was hilarious and it was dope. He had like this dope afro, like the sideways afro. He had the chain with the Starfleet emblem on it. He was fresh though. I gotta get him back on that because we was just talking about it last week.
But anyway, Enterprise with spinners on?
No, it had a spinners, but he was definitely out there with the chains in the grill. So it was good.
We gotta see because we have an amazing guest, and we gotta see if he likes Star Trek. We know he likes Marvel, and we know he likes DC. He told us beforehand. He was about to go off about DC. We gotta find out if he has Star Trek. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
He's a wrestling fan. He'd a bunch of fandoms. Good music fan. I've seen him, posting about different things and different fandoms. So let's see. Let's get him on here and see if we can address this.
He's trying to act like he's frozen. I can see his hand moving.
I can't keep it straight.
Like you froze on the show.
I always think that's a good icebreaker. You know what I mean? Let me just freeze to see what their reaction are.
Dwayne Robinson Jr. in the building. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wait, I didn't know that.
That's what it says. That's what it says on his Facebook.
How did I not know that?
No way.
Dwayne Robinson, it's Junior, right?
Yeah,
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So, are you?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bet. What's your favorite Star Trek series?
Voyager.
Wow.
Okay. Deep Space Nine was okay, but I felt like some of the sub characters. But Voyager.
There you go. Thank you. All right. So we don't need to hear no more. We don't need to hear no more from Dwayne Robinson Jr. Oh no, Voyager had.
He said DS9 was okay, man.
The sub characters. Come on now, the sub characters in DS9 are some of the best ones. Okay, bring them back. Let's see if he can explain himself.
Oh man, the reason why was because when I was still very young into the Star Trek lore, you know what I mean. So Deep Space Nine for me, I was still very young, so I didn't really watch it as much. You know what I mean. My stepfather was really into it, so that was what we would do as a family. We would eat our food and we would watch Star Trek. But you know, when Deep Space Nine came on, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go outside and play basketball. You know.
Yeah.
So that, but when I got older, you know, I was like, you know, wow, this show is still going on. Let me check this out. I remember watching it with my stepdad, and you know, so that's when I really started to get into it. It's not, so that was the reason. That was the reason.
Okay. Deep Space Nine. If you go back and watch it though, I promise you, Deep Space Nine. Garrick, like what they did with Odo. One thing I love about Star Trek, is like they'll always take an android character or non-human character or non-sentient character, and you know, kind of introduces humanity throughout the show. So they did it with Odo. They did it with the Doctor from Voyager. You know, the Doctor from Voyager with the hologram Data. They did it with, and that's something I really love about their shows is, you know, introducing more and more humanity to the non-sentient beings, and you know,
and their sexuality too. Apparently, all of them got some at some point.
But it's a great show. A lot of them are pretty good. I need to catch up on Discovery and what's the Bold New Worlds one or something like that.
Bold New World, and there's Lower Decks also, which is
more
of a comedy thing.
Picard?
I saw the first season of Picard, and that was first season was super dope. But so enough about Star Trek. Let's introduce our fans to you, sir. Introduce yourself and tell us how you got into comics.
Okay, so my name is Dwayne Robinson Jr. I'm the owner and creator of Animation Comics and Entertainment LLC, or ACE for short. We currently have 2 titles available on our website. One of them is written by my brother. The story is called Salvation. And then we have the story that I'm actually working on right now. Our 3rd issue is Nightfall, Michael's Awakening, which is about a main character. His name is Michael Vash. And he's a normal college quarterback that finds out from his mother that he has a legacy line of werewolves within him. And it's up to him to believe that what she's saying is true or not, because although he loves his mother, there was a lot of crazy and unexplained events that had happened when she first came into the town. And because of that, the townspeople had dubbed his mom the town crazy woman. So in the back of his mind, when she tells him the truth about what lies within him, he's kind of thinking maybe she actually is crazy, but he's really not sure. And he finds out what happens, you find out what happens at the end of issue 1. One of the cool things that most people like, that people see right from the beginning of issue 1, is that it starts out in black and white, and then it slowly goes into color later into the issue. The reasoning behind that is really multiple different reasons. One is because I'm a huge fan of horror, classic horror, you know, so that was kind of my nod or homage to all of the classic black and white movies back in the day. And another main reason is because when you look at the story, it's the perspective always in the main character, of course, but it's also talking about the world and how he sees it. Black and white being more normal, mundane, and then the splash of color is the reveal of this new world that is actually being introduced to him. So that was one of the cool things that I did for the first issue, and then it slowly continues into color later into the issue. So issue 3, as you saw there, was the issue that we're working on now. The artwork is done by me. I'm also the writer, but the colors is not me. And my colorist that I have for this new issue, he's knocking it out of the park, and I can't be any more happier for the progress that we're doing so far.
Now, Brad Arney in the chat says, issue 3, I'm behind, then I need issue 2. Yes, you do, Brad. Go to animationcomicsint.com, which is right there on the screen. Get you caught up. And I think there's a second book there, right? Was it Salvation? Is that
Salvation is the story that was written by my brother. But it's comics ENT, not comics.
Hey, man. I got to sound it out. All right.
Don't worry. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say
Pray for your boy. No, I want to talk about that. So one interesting thing, and this is going to take a tangent, but what you just said about the quarterback, becoming having this legacy, and his parent, his mom, being labeled crazy by the town, those kind of stories are always intriguing to me. And we just watched, I don't know if y'all saw it, but Troll. There was a movie, a Swiss movie called Troll on Netflix. Yeah, and and when we just sit around in the house, me and my wife or whatever, we'll just put on something and be like, okay, this looks interesting. And man, it kind of started off like that. It started off as this young woman, her father gets labeled as the town kook or whatever, but he had instilled in her this belief that she could see, beyond what what lies in front of you, right? So she was able to detect these trolls early in her life. She grew up, she learned paleontology and all this stuff, but then when they came to her and needed her help to defeat this troll, she had the knowledge and the faith and the information to be able to help. So I always love stories like that, because it also gives you that restitution with the father with the parent and the daughter or son. And you like to see those kind of relationships in the story. So without telling us too much, are you planning on getting those two back together? Like, is the son gonna have to go to the mom for help or anything like that?
Oh no, the story is heavily based on family, and right from the beginning, that's shown. Even though she's had these episodes that people where there's like proof of actually saying like, yo, she actually is crazy. Remember that time when she did this? But he's always rocked with her. He's because although she had these episodes, she's always taking care of him and made sure that he was fed this and that, like what a single mom is supposed to do. So there's never a time where, even though all of this stuff was going on, that they, went their separate ways. He's still with her. And at the end of issue 1, you truly find out what's going on in the story. So it really just goes right from there to issue 2. And in issue 2 is where they really establish all of the characters and give a little bit of a backstory of who each person is. He has his sister, or not his blood sister, but his childhood friend, Tori Victoria. He calls her Tori for short, but that's like his sister. Yeah, right. She's the witch in the story, and you find out more about her and how she got her powers, how she gets her powers, who she is, because everybody in that world that's close to him is a part of a legacy line. So a legacy line differs from a normal werewolf. Like, you have half breeds. Half breeds can only turn into their lichen form during a full moon. But a person that has a legacy line, they can turn anytime. It doesn't have to be the daytime. It can be nighttime. It can be whatever. Their blood is more powerful and close to the actual lichen lineage. So that's why they can turn at any point. So his sister is actually part of the witches that because there's like a hierarchy, and the hierarchy is really it's the witches, the lichens, and then the vampires. The vampires were eventually eradicated by the lichens later in early in before issue 1. So that's where the prequel starts, because the prequel is really about how the big bad, who is Lucius Vash, who is actually his grandfather. It basically goes into more about how he became or rose into power and became this powerful dictator that he is now. And it also talks about why is his mother in this town that they live in now, and how all of that came to be. So it kind of the issue 1 really kind of puts you in the middle of the story, so to speak, where there's a lot of mystery and intrigue that's going on. So when you're done with issue 1, you got a lot of questions, and then issue 2 comes, it answers a lot of those questions, but it also creates more questions the way how it ends. With that's
how it should go.
Because it's continuing on with the next issue, and it's actually introducing more characters. And so in issue 3, and you see in the cover there, the big bad there is Lucius Vash's right-hand man, or his adopted son, Lucian. And Lucian kidnaps his mother and his sister, while the most powerful character in the story is Vivian Vash, is the person you wait, hold on. There we go. Right there. Like, that was one of the things that I really kind of wanted to do was, even though this story is about a Black male character, I didn't want the female characters to be, in the background, or just be, filler or damsels in distress. No female characters in my story. Well, this one at least are just characters that just added filler or whatever. They all have a life to them. They all have a purpose. And Vivian Vash is the strongest character in the whole entire series. You see a glimpse of it in each issue when she's introduced in issue 2, and in issue 3 you also see how bad she truly is. With also getting more understanding of who she is as a character as well, because I feel like this is a character that is going to be really intriguing to people, for guys, because who doesn't want to see a badass woman doing some damage, but also little girls as well. They have characters that they could actually go, oh, this character is cool, she's a strong, powerful woman. And for me, that's always been my kind of what I grew up on. My mother was a single parent, and I grew up with most of my female around me. They all were positive. My great grandmother or my great aunts, cousins, what have you. So that was kind of always instilled against me, I guess. So I did it kind of subconsciously by putting these characters, all the females, as powerful characters like that.
I love it.
That's
Vivian
cool.
is the one with the sword, right? I saw you designing that sword a while back.
Yeah.
What's special about that sword? What's it's dope. I like it. I'm trying to get Ace Blade to come to the universe and steal it. But
Wow, dude.
I actually was gonna ask you wanted me to do a variant cover, because I saw that you were doing variant covers.
yes.
So
yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I'm just not a colorist. I just want to let you know I'm not a colorist. But
Danny will color it. It's cool. Danny colors it.
We'll make it work.
So I'll try to put some time in, and I'll do that, because right now I'm even though issue 3 is done and the colorist is working on it, I'm working on my next issue, which is Brook City. But to go back to with the sword is because their relationship with the witches and warlocks in the world is very unique, because the witches, although they were the hierarchy and they were the higher ups of the world, they were still looked at as like, don't talk to them, leave them alone, don't mess with them, let them be, because they don't really sway away from their own kind. But that's where the Vash family was so unique, because they were the ones that actually were like, hey, let's be friends with them. So what if they're different? It doesn't really matter. They have these abilities. We all are different in our own way. Let's still be friends. Who cares what they are? So Lucius Vash was the first one to actually befriend them. And so that kind of relationship was really good, because that family that Lucius Vash actually befriended was one of the top 3 that actually created this whole spell on the world, where that's why. So when you go into the world that Diana was Diana was going into, they didn't know about werewolves or witches. They all thought they were fantasy, because these witches, they put this spell on the world so that they could actually travel and not be killed or found out about. So that's really where all of that comes from, is because of the fact that they befriended them. And now that they are befriends with them, behold, everybody from that down, from Diana and Vivian and their family, they always had like a good relationship with witches. So when she was first started becoming a warrior, they gave her the sword. It's infused with magic. That's why it's has like the gold colors inside of it.
You got a lot of lore.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I know. I'm kind of like going in. So yeah,
no, it's fine. It's fine. We don't mind.
I think that's dope. So my question then is, why? So why did you choose comics for this project instead of novels or something like that? Like a novel, you can put like a lot of this lore in like a lot quicker than you would be able to in a comic. Like you said, you gotta wait for colorists, you gotta wait for artists, you gotta write it yourself. You know, and comic books are a little more expensive to make than novels. So why'd you choose to go into comics instead of writing a novel?
Who says he isn't planning that? I'm just
visuals. Visuals has always been well. That's kind of where our name comes from. You know, a lot of people think that we want to do comics and animation, which is true. I am working on animation story as well, but it's really a play on ourselves and our personality. My brother, who's not my blood brother, he's my childhood friend, but he grew up on comics more than I did. I knew about comics but only from watching the animated series, like the cartoons and what have you. So that was kind of where our name came from originally. So for me, I've always been more of a visual guy, and I enjoy drawing and things like that. Even though I didn't go to school for it, my friend taught me how to draw, and it's sad that he never got to see how far I got with my artwork, because he unfortunately passed away. He was killed. But yeah, so that was kind of what I wanted to do, was pay homage to him as well. Show him like, look, man, all of that work that we went through, it wasn't for nothing. Look what I got. Look what I'm doing. So that was the main reason. But it was simply for just the visuals aspect. Plus, like I said, my brother, he's heavily into comics more than I am. So that was always going to be our goal, was that we're going to start on comics, and then we're going to slowly get our name up there and help build who we are, and people start to recognize who we are. So that way, when we do our animated stories, people, oh wow, they finally got an animated series, man. I know them from such and such. This might be good. I'm going to give this a shot. You know what I mean? So slowly baby step it into, getting a little bit more recognition.
Now, can we talk about what you do have planned for your animation? I mean, animation is the first thing in your company's name. So how far along are you with the animation?
We still got ways to go, because the animator that I was working with was doing very well, but unfortunately he had a huge family emergency, I guess you could say, that had happened. So now I had to basically start from scratch with another animator. And this animator is a little slower than the one I was working with, so that's
a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, it's a process. It's definitely a process, and it's expensive.
Yes, it is.
It's not cheap. You can find somebody on, what's that, Fiverr or Fever or whatever how you say that.
Yeah.
And you might find somebody with a little bit cheaper money, but if you want to do it well, you want to represent your company with something really good. You want to put the money in. So it's going to take some time. But as those things are going on, we're still going to try to do different comics, different titles. And that's kind of what we're doing now with Brook City and Immortal and Warrior of Doom.
All right, and what about the ENT portion, the entertainment? What else outside of animation and comics are you looking at?
Yeah, the entertainment aspect is really what we do, our movie and video game reviews. We actually are looking into doing a podcast, but my girlfriend is a director and a photographer. So we're looking into doing, like funny skits to put on YouTube and TikTok and things like that. Because, although we are, first of our titles are horror based, me, myself, I'm a class clown, 100%. So, I would like to show a little bit more of my personality. And so that's where all of that comes in from.
Okay.
I love it. I always think that's a good way to do it, especially today. The entertainment part of it is kind of what hooks people. They might be able to see your funny videos or your skits or things like that first, and then the more they see you, the more they want to see what else you got. They want to see what else you're working on. So
right, yeah, it translates into so much more, because that's always been kind of our thing. That's why we, on our website, we have so much merchandise, because a lot of people aren't really fans of comics that we run into from time to time.
Yeah.
So we go, oh, well, hey, you like this shirt? Yeah, I love this shirt. Oh, well, you can get it on our website. What is this shirt about? Oh, it's a comic. Oh, it's a comic? I wrote it. You wrote it? And, that just goes into, you know, the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You know, they, instead of just buying just that one T-shirt, they're actually gonna try to purchase the comic or, you know, something else. So those things are good to have, you know.
Man, it's crazy. We started the show talking about Black Star Trek fans. But I think that there's a lot of Black fans too. And you know, that's just one of those things that we just don't talk about, like with Star Trek. You know, we just don't. It's one of those things that we just don't talk about. There's a lot of us who love, you know, these Marvel movies, and you know, and those things are easier to talk about, but you don't
because it's
necessarily
more mainstream. Unfortunately, there's still a stigma with in our culture with doing anything that's considered geeky or nerdy. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Marvel makes money, so it makes it cool. You know,
Absolutely.
even anime degree, it's just now becoming acceptable to talk about.
Yeah,
It's just bad that we all. I mean, we all can enjoy something, even if it's geeky or nerdy. Just enjoy it.
yeah. I think that's important to have and talk about. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people out there. When a couple years ago, I used to hang out with, you know, Bloods and Crips, and a lot of them, they would like pull me to the side, like, "Yo, man, you seen that new Naruto show? It's pretty good." Like, bro, why you saying it like it's a secret? Like, it's okay. Like,
Don't tell nobody though, bro.
tell nobody I'll be looking at.
Like
Yo,
Naruto.
Shippuden go
About to get
hard.
jumped out, man.
Bro, it's okay. You know, because I always hung out with everybody. You know what I mean? That was always my thing. I had the nerdy guys, and because I played sports, I had the jocks, and then I had, you know, so my circle was always switching, and I always had so many different people, and I always, you know, look at people like, man, this guy would be cool if he hung out with this guy, but he bullies this guy. And why did, you know? So I never really understood that. You know what I mean? That's actually one of the things that in my superhero story that I kind of touch on, you know, is that, you know, you can be friends with anybody, and it's good to be friends with anybody because you never know who you're going to meet later down the line. You know what I mean? So that was something that I really wanted to touch base on with my superhero story. But yeah,
Be friends with everybody except for Kanye right now.
oh,
We don't, man.
that'll be a whole nother hour about
That's a man.
Anyways,
how would 2023 be? You know?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Anyways,
Let's go back to Black Star Trek. Let's do that.
But yeah, you know, I think horror is something that, you know, that we also enjoy as well, you know, and I think to have this story, you know, or just supernatural stuff is something that no, you don't think that's something we enjoy?
I'll mess with horror. I'll mess with horror. I'll support you. It's baseball, but
well, you know, for me, I think it's more of it's using the horror trope, so to speak, you know, because it takes the werewolf stories and it flips it, you know what I mean? Because you don't really see too many Black main characters that have deal with werewolf stories and things like that, you know. So this was something that I felt that needed to be seen, you know what I mean? Now we can write stories about truly anything and make it cool. It doesn't have to be always about what we know, you know, what we see on TV or read in comics or whatnot, you know. So that was something that I wanted to kind of show with my story and with my Salvation series as well.
Yeah,
and all your books. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kyle.
I was gonna say, are all your books in the same universe, or are they?
No, they're different. The only one that we are thinking about, actually, I can tell you guys. So one of the things that we're actually working on is we want to do a one shot with both of our stories because everybody is always asking us, is this like a joint universe? And we're like, no, but you know, so we're actually working on writing a one shot where Michael actually meets the main character, Vaughn.
Since Veronica with the magic, she can make it happen. She can bring it together.
Yeah, you know, I mean, because you know, doing stories with my brother together is always fun. That's why we're doing Brook City, because Brook City was something that originally where the company really came to be, because we used to always living in New York. It's tons of crazy stuff happening. You know what I mean? So we could just be walking down the street one day and then, you know, just see some random guy just, you know, having a fight with Elmo. And you're like, did that really just happen? Is he really
Like,
being?
it is Tuesday, so all right.
You know, so and but for us, we just like, y'all, that happened. And we was walk about it, and then as we're going home, like, man, today was crazy. Yeah. So so many crazy things that happened to us over the years, and that was like, like, man, wouldn't it be crazy if we like wrote a story about it and like made it like kind of funny, like the Boondocks or something like that? He was like, yeah, that would be cool. And he was like, yeah, let's make it over the top like Family Guy. He was like, yeah. And then that's where the original idea came from, So that's what our next story is going to be. And I think as well, like we don't want to be pigeonholed into just one genre. We don't want to be known for, those are horror boys, you know what I mean? Or anything like that. So that's why we're going to be doing this comedy as well, is because, we want to show that we can do different genres.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I feel the same way. I just recently started working on a Western with Kyron over there. And he didn't like to draw horses at first, but
I hate drawing horses. Damn it!
Favorite things to draw.
Cars. I don't like cars. I hate cars.
I grew up drawing superheroes, like action scenes, and I've never drawn one superhero series yet, and I've drawn like 10 comics now.
Wait,
I've
what?
Never drawn. Yeah,
that's wild.
I've never drawn a superhero. Not one, dude.
That's wild. I didn't even think of that.
I did 6 issues of Shaman's Destiny. That's all supernatural. I did sci-fi with Ruby.
Yeah.
I did your book, and I did Sean's book, and I did Joe's book. Not one superhero.
I'll fix that. You drawing Red Tail though, right?
Nope.
Probably not. Anyways. All right.
Dwayne's like, what the hell are they talking about?
No, I'm interested. I'm interested. Like I like this type of stuff. Because I don't.
All right. So, if you've seen our show, late in the show we do a section called Quick Takes. So, if you're ready, we'll do quick takes right now.
Quick takes. Oh, you air guitar too? I was about to get my actual guitar.
I had to play the intro.
Why are you stealing? So, don't lie. That's not you. That's not you.
So all right. So this quick takes is a rapid fire Q&A section that we do with our guests. You just got 45 seconds to answer these 5 questions off the top of your head. Okay. I did a little dive into your Facebook.
You stalked him. You stalked him.
I don't like to say stalked. But I was just wondering around in your social medias, and I got 5 questions for you. So number 1, I noticed that you post a lot of Monday motivations. You post a lot of motivational quotes. So off the top of your head, give us some motivation to keep going in comics.
It's not Monday though.
My favorite quote. I don't know if I saw it or I just came up with it. I'm gonna take it. Say I did it. But my favorite one is slow motion is better than no motion at all. Okay, that goes with so much, because it just basically means doesn't matter how slow you feel like you're going, as long as you're making some type of motion, you're trying to make some small part correction to whatever you're doing in life, you're in the right track. If you ever stop, then you're doing bad. You're not doing yourself a justice. You know what I'm saying? So slow motion is always better than no motion at all, and that's always going to be something very important to me. That's what I always say to myself, because me as a perfectionist and being a Capricorn, I'm always like, nah, I need to do this. I should be doing this. I gotta do this. I'm not done yet. So slow motion is better than no motion at all. So that's always gonna be my favorite.
I love it. And I 100% agree with it. 100% agree. All right, question number 2. I heard we talked earlier. You said that you were thinking about getting on the TikTok and doing skits and things like that. Now, one of the big debates on TikTok is in a game of chess, who would win between a mind reader and a future seer, somebody who can see the future. Okay. So the mind reader, of course, has the power to read your mind, and the future seer can see all the possible futures ahead. So who would win in a battle between the mind reader and a future seer? and why?
Okay, so for me, I've always been the person that was really good with foresight. So I guess I would go with the person that could probably see into the future. Because if you can see into the future, you can read someone's mind, but that doesn't necessarily mean that what you're reading is actually what they're going to do.
Okay.
A person can be like, yeah, Danny stalks me, but you can actually say, you know what, I'm not going to look at this Facebook page today. I'm going to skip this day or whatever. You know what I mean? That can change your whole trajectory of what you were set in your mind. You know what I mean? But if I can look in the future, I can look in the future and go, Danny actually didn't skip that day. He actually did stalk me the whole entire week. I saw it. You know what I mean? So that to me is why I would say
a couple hours. It's only a couple
future
hours.
sight is a little bit better.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, so question number 3. I saw one of your Monday motivations, and it said something like, the only two things that you can control is your attitude and your effort. So I want to know, between those two, which one is more important to accomplishing your goals, your attitude or your effort?
Effort. Because when you go to a job, they always say, you're not supposed to take how you feeling into your workplace. You know what I mean? So no matter how you're feeling, this goes for writing. And I know, Danny, you're like learning how to draw. This goes for drawing as well. There can be days where you're like, man, I don't feel like drawing. I don't feel like drawing eyes or doing hands, which, everybody still has trouble with. No matter how you're feeling, you got to do it. You got to do it. You know what I mean? So I would always say that is more important than your attitude. 100%.
I love it. I like that. I like that answer. Okay. So question number 4, and this is one that I ask a lot of people who do comic book conventions, big and small. I have a theory that big cons are a scam for small creators, but I know a lot of small creators, who do well at big shows. So I want to know, which one do you prefer, big cons or small shows?
At this current part of my life, I have been to so many big and small. I would actually say small, only because of the fact that I feel that now all of the big ones, they're slowly not becoming comic books conventions. They're becoming more entertainment conventions, because you can go, like I went to New York Comic Con this year, right? And when I went, a lot of people were more excited about the outside the comic aspect. People were looking for the movies, the animes, the cosplayers, all of these things like that. And when you go to these big conventions like that, that's kind of what the MO is, that more people are more excited about just walking around dressing up, opposed to seeing these new creators that have these comics or people that are already established. People don't really go to see, that type of expectations that people are really looking for, when you go to these big conventions. I'm sure most of us can say that we still make money, thankfully, but it's not what we're really expecting when we go to these big conventions. You know what I mean? We're expecting people just like, oh, what's this? Hey, I never seen you guys. I want to check you guys out. Like this type of thing. You don't really see that anymore in these big conventions. You see it a lot more in the smaller ones, because people actually are going there for the comics or, whatever the convention is specialized on. So I would definitely say small ones. Yeah, for sure.
And it's easier to get. I think it's at smaller shows, it's easier for people to find you too, because there's not, like you said, there's not a 10-foot transformer, section that people can get distracted by.
Why are you hating on Optimus Prime, dude?
I mean, I love Transformers, but it's hard to kind of get those eyes that you got.
Yeah, I think positioning is really important when you come to these big conventions. A lot of times when you go to these big ones like that, they put you in this small little area where you're not really going to be seen, and then they have all the most important things away from you. And so in the area where people got to kind of do this, so they may see you, but they're like, yeah, I'm not really focused on you. I'm trying to get to the Transformer. Where's the Transformer? You know what I mean? That sucks even more, because then you have someone actually look at your stuff and like, oh, someone's actually interested. And they're like, excuse me, where's Optimus? And you're like, really? Are you serious right now? Do you see what I have? You don't even care that there's a werewolf behind you. Like, what are you talking about? You know, so
hey, it's up to you to turn that person into a sale. That's all.
Right. Yeah. So if you're not really good at sales, you know,
Yeah.
then you have a problem. I've seen that many times. People like they would just have these people talking to them, and you know, I'd be like, hey man, why don't you got stickers, offer them a free sticker. And then that would tell them you can get into the conversation on what the stickers blah 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 blah, and then you can make a sale. You know what I mean? Say something. You know what I mean, to attract them to why you're at your table, and why you're here. You know, you spend all this money, you got to try to do something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I've seen people use like strobe lights to try to get people's attention, and I was like, hey man, if it works, hey, you know, do what you got to do. But,
We're just talking about Michael Watson.
Talking. So
Michael Watson is out at a show, GalaxyCon right now, and he goes out with the loudspeaker and he drums up interest out there in the front line before the show starts. So you know you got to do what you do. Okay, so last question. Every guest has to do a top 5. If you don't know, we do another show called Top 5 Live, which is also on.
You do another show, not me.
You be on that sometimes. You be in the comments at least saying that my lists are trash.
Your lists are trash. That's
all. But also on the Agents of Geekdom Network, Top 5 Live, and what we want to hear from you is your top 5 New York rappers off the top of your head, from 5 to 1, and this is of all time too. Top 5 New York rappers of all time. I know 2 rappers that better make this list.
He about to be canceled, I bet.
Is the 2 that you're talking about with Jay-Z and Nas? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, not even them.
Man, that's hard. Because for
He
me,
gonna get off the stream, and there'll be people outside his door talking about what you doing, why you pick them.
Because for me, I'm still very much old school rap. You know what I mean? I'm not too much of the new stuff that's out right now. You know what I mean? I hate mumble rap. So for me, you know, but a lot of the rappers that I like right now are not from New York. So, oh man, that's hard. And I want to kind of, that's hard. That's hard.
It's supposed to be hard, and that's where you're from. So you better say the right one. But this is all time though. So if they can be current, they can be.
You see, because the thing is, like, there's certain songs that for me that I hear now, and it's like, man, that's so good. Like, so it's hard to not like put them on that list because I heard their new album and I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. Like Nas
don't matter. If they're not from New York, it don't matter right now.
Like 3. I love Nas. His new album, King Disease, is fire. So he's got to be like 3.
All right.
How you gonna start with 3? You
How you
start
gonna start
with 5.
I don't know, it's the order is what's messing me up. That's the thing. Like I can list like a number of top 5s, but to put them in like an order, that's what messes me up. The
Problem is he wants to put Sugar Hill Gang at number 5. That's why.
That's your list.
Let me read my mind. We passed that question. Don't do that. Oh man, that's hard. Like that's hard. That's hard. That's really hard.
We might have to do this one on the show because this is a tough.
I'll post it on my Facebook page.
No, you gotta do what I want. You gotta at least give me 5. Okay, you don't have to do it in any particular order. Just do the 5 best New York rappers of all time.
Okay, so Biggie, Nas, Big L.
Okay. You bumped mine off the list with Big L.
Can I say Black Star? Does that count?
I mean, technically,
it's 2, but they're a group.
It's a group, but
it's hard. That's hard.
But that group is still
hard because I'm also from Brooklyn, so I can't like not include Brooklyn rappers. Like my friends will kill me. Like I can't. You're killing me. So, man. So what's that? I was like, what's that? 3?
That's
4?
That's 3. That's 4. You got one more.
Okay. Damn, I like Joey Badass too.
Not more than you like DMX.
Shit, yeah, right. See, of course I love X. But then I like the Locks too, though. See, I like the Locks. Only one I'm not too fond of too much is Street Luke, but Styles P and Jadakiss go hard, man. That's
It's a lot
hard.
of great. And then you got like Method Man is a New York rapper. They ain't going
Yeah.
Is it 50 from New York?
50 is from New York.
He from Queens. He from Queens.
Like you said,
I'm
Joey
not,
Badass.
I mean, I like 50 Cent, but 50 Cent wouldn't be on my top 5 though. You know what I mean? Like,
That's fine.
he got a lot of good songs, but not top 5.
You got Raekwon, Rakim. Ain't gonna like he got some.
Khalid?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's why I said Black Star, but you know, I was gonna say Wu-Tang, but that's a whole
Wu-Tang is Wu-Tang a whole.
exactly like that.
I mean,
that
you
would
can say
help though. That would help because there's like 3 of them in there. That's like I can't forget Ghostface. Like what? Come on now.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes is
Busta.
Like,
Yeah,
I
Busta.
love Busta Rhymes.
Busta a legend.
Like, from Brooklyn. Like I can't.
That's a lot of. That's a lot of.
You killing me. You killing me. That's too
That's
hard.
But
That's too hard.
we'll take that 5, and hopefully don't nobody come after you. But
all right, I will say this. I will put Busta Rhymes number 2, and I'll put DMX as number 1 though, for sure.
Whoa. All right.
DMX
Was not expecting DMX at number 1. I don't know why.
DMX for me was really good because I love the fact that he talked about his trials and tribulations, but he also talked about different stuff, you know what I mean, outside of just always, I'll kill you, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And even when he did, it was
you're getting called out that you didn't say Jay-Z. I could have swore you said Jay-Z at one point.
I said Jay-Z. I said Jay-Z.
I was like, I could have swore you did.
You said Jay-Z and Nas.
Yeah.
KRS
One, yes, KRS-One is another one. Like
Fuji's. Okay.
Fuji's. See,
there's just too many, right?
It's a lot.
That's too hard.
That was unfair. I should have gave you a top 10. But
I'm an 80s baby, you know what I mean? Like it don't look it because black don't.
He did. Okay, we got to address this. He did say it in the beginning when he said with Nas, so
he did
got to address that. He did say Jay-Z and Nas.
I mean,
he just didn't say what order they were in, but he did say
Jay-Z though. Even though I'm from Brooklyn,
you put Nas in front of Jay-Z.
I like Nas a little bit more.
He did, didn't he?
Okay. Hey, all right. Hey, I ain't gonna get you beat up out here, bro. But anyway, that was our quick take.
Yeah, I see it. I see the comments. AZ is okay.
Terrible.
What other show can you watch that's going to start off talking about Star Trek and end up talking about New York rappers? I just don't get this show sometimes. And in the middle, we talk about comic books somehow.
So we're talking a little bit about comic books.
People being stalked.
Yeah. Well, that's every week.
It's time. It's a roller coaster, and you gotta love it. You gotta tune in for that.
All right. Well, this has been fun. I don't know where. Oh yeah, Dwayne, where can people check out your stuff? Because we want to make sure everybody buys all your books and checks you out for any campaigns you might do. So where can anybody check out your work, your social media, things like that?
Mm-hmm. You can find me on social media. My Facebook, Dwayne Robinson Jr. You can find me also our Facebook company page at Animation Comics ENT. You can find our group page where I allow people to promote their other stuff like Kickstarter, Indiegogos, what have you. A group page is Animation Comics Entertainment LLC. Instagram, website, all is down at the bottom. Animation Comics ENT. The website is .com, of course. But all of our other social sites, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter.
I was gonna say LL Cool J, but I didn't think LL Cool J would fit the top 5. I mean, he's good, but I don't know.
He didn't even mention LL. He didn't even mention LL.
Nah,
he's super lyrical, though.
He's super lyrical, but he's not my top 5.
Nah. LL Cool J is. But all right,
Danny. Where can we find your work?
Absolutely. If you want to find me, the best place to go is www.fourthwallpros.com. And if you want to find me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you?
You can find my work at tauruscomics.com. Pick up all 6 issues of Shaman Destiny, Saw Lightning Wielder, Ruby from Planet Oz, and soon issue 1 of StarCore, because that's coming in today. So
I saw you got those shipped in, man. I love it.
Yes. So if you backed my Kickstarter, you'll be getting those hopefully within the next 2 weeks. I'll be shipping everything out. So check your emails for Kickstarter survey soon. But you can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr at Taurus Comics. So check out all my work there. And if this is your first time, check out the Four Tails Podcast. Please go to our website, fourtailspodcast.com. You can find all our episodes there available to listen to for free or on most podcasting platforms. But this is it for the year. We will not be back again until January 14th. That's the first day. So for the next month, I'm gonna sleep my ass in.
No, he won't. He'll be up.
If you call me at 6 o'clock for something stupid,
But, hey,
I
man,
will block your ass.
I just think about you on a Saturday morning, man. You doing good?
Like, what's your top 5 Sacramento rappers of all time?
Hey, you know I'll do it.
No, but we appreciate everybody that's been on.
I feel
this.
the hate coming. I feel it. Y'all got me in so much trouble.
It's like I feel it in my bones. Somebody's about to.
I feel it. I feel like the red dots on me.
Elmo about to jump him.
So,
all right. But we appreciate everybody. It's been fun. This is our second season doing this. We will definitely be back for season 3. And hopefully we can have some fun then. But until next time, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.